Good afternoon. Nice to see you all again. Today is science lesson number 8. And what's it about? Well, what I've got in front of me here is a big bowl of water. And what I'm going to do is talk about floating and sinking. Why do some things float in water and why do some things sink? What have we got? Here's a bit of a wooden clothes peg. Put it in the water and it floats. See it floating about on the surface. Here's a stone. Put it in the water and it sinks right down to the bottom. Okay? So some things float and some things sink. But why? We could try a few different things. What have we got? Here's a piece of metal. It's a hair grip. Sunk. Gone. Here's a piece of plastic. Ooh, it nearly sank, but it bobbed up again. Look at that. Down it goes, but there it is, floating about with the wood. It's floating. How about a piece of carrot? What will that do? Gone. Sunk. So some things sink and some things float. Look at this one. Polystyrene. Sits right on the top. Try and push it under. No, comes up again. Okay, so why do some things sink and some things float? Is it the size? Well, the wooden clothes peg is floating. What if we try a smaller piece of wood like a mat? Nope. Still floating about. Okay. What about the metal? Here's a bigger piece of metal. Sunk. Okay. Something. Here's a spoon. I'd better bend it so there's room for it in the bowl. Oh, put the spoon in. That's bigger than the hair grip. Will that make it float? No, it's sunk. Let's try changing some things. Is it the shape and size? Here's some Play-Doh. Let's put a little bit of, let's take these floating things out. Let's put a little bit of Play-Doh in the water. Sunk right to the bottom. There it is in the bottom. So is it the size? Let's try a bigger bit of Play-Doh. Sunk right down. Well, maybe it's the shape. Should we try the shape instead? What if I take the Play-Doh and make it a long shape, like that, like a sausage? Maybe that'll make it float. No, down it goes. What if we take the Play-Doh and roll it into a ball? Will that make it float? No, it sinks. It just seems to be what the thing is made of. It doesn't matter what shape it is or what size it is. Okay? A match will float like that, but so would a whole tree because they're made of wood. A pebble will sink, but so would a huge bit of stone because they're made of stone. Actually, there is a way to get the Play-Doh to float, a special shape. Maybe try it at home, put some water in a bowl, get some Play-Doh or plasticine and see if you can make it into a shape that floats. Here's a clue. Why do big ships float when they're made of metal? Okay, if you can work it out, get an adult who's watching this with you to send me the answer on Facebook. So, okay, it just depends on what the thing is made of. Wood floats, polystyrene floats, plastic floats, metal sinks, stone sinks, carrot sinks. It just depends. If the thing is lighter than water, it will float like wood. if the thing is heavier than water, it will sink. The proper word is denser, but we'll say heavier. It will sink. It just depends on what it's made of. Now, I want to try one more special one, which is ice. I'll just go to the freezer and get some ice. Don't go away. Here I am back with some ice in heart shapes from the freezer. Now, ice is a funny one because ice is frozen water. Oh, it's cold, really cold. Let's put it in the water and it floats. Can you see it there, bobbing about? Although it's beginning to melt already and turn to water. Put another bit in. It floats, but it nearly sinks. Ice is funny. You know what an iceberg is? If you see an iceberg floating in the sea like that, a big iceberg. There's a big iceberg floating in the sea. What you don't see, although it's floating, is that most of it is underwater. So you only see a little bit above the top. Whereas something like polystyrene is so light, it just sits on the top. So that's floating and sinking. Now here's what you can try at home. Get a big bowl, fill it with water, and then go around the house and try and find some little bits of things made of different substances and see if they float or sink. You can try what I did. You can try a little stone, a little bit of wood, a little bit of Play-Doh. You can try that. You can try bits of food, bit of carrot, bit of potato, bit of apple. You can try different things you can find, and you can write down the answers or make a chart. Does it sink or does it float? And by the way, do you float? If a person lies in water, do they float? And the answer is yes, so long as you don't swallow a lot of water. I mean an awful lot of water, and then down you go like a stone. So if you go swimming, make sure you keep your head out of the water and keep breathing in and don't swallow a lot of water, but it would be an awful lot. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that lesson, and don't forget, try it at home, find things which float, find things which sink, and write it down or make a chart. Okay, bye-bye.